Hello.
Still thinking about that biscuit that Kaz was eating.
Mm.
We're back.
I know.
Oh goodness!
I know.
Oh goodness!
What did we want to do about these will-o-wisps?
Well, are we unable to communicate with them?
Stand back! I got this. I got this. All right.
Got it.
Go ahead. And
Hello. Do you understand me?
You're just yelling at them, or are you trying to?
I'm signing very generally.
Okay.
No specific
autograph.
sign, not halfling sign language or anything. I'm just being very much like, do you understand me?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Can I insight this orb of fire? Oh Lord, I got 9.
9.
Can I also insight while he's doing this? Just
Yeah.
watching
Anybody
his interaction?
who wants to can make an insight check.
My passive is 16. I can just use that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
21.
Nice.
Wait, we could do passives?
Yes.
Nah, I think it's funny if I roll.
Yeah. For insights and for perceptions, you can, in this game at least, you can always take your passive if you roll lower.
Okay.
Yeah, Anath, you're not quite sure. It seems to kind of blink and wobble in the air a little bit in reaction to you, but it's difficult. But it kind of was doing that before you shouted and signed at it. But Wade, you think it's difficult to say for sure because it is an incorporeal blob of light, but you're fairly certain that my neighbor just started mowing their lawn. So we're going to close that window. You're fairly certain that you observe a change in the pattern that seems to be mimicking some of Anath's gesticulations, at least a little bit.
Think it might understand you, maybe?
Oh, good. All right. What do you want me to tell it? I look up to Wade.
I mean, technically, all we were supposed to do was understand what was going on here.
Hey, yo, buddy, come back. I need to ask a question. I gesticulate a question mark as I do so.
And it kind of starts hovering, like you see 3 of them kind of light up, boom, 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 and they're all starting to converge a little bit around a central space, kind of making this lazy orbit around a central point.
Well, you guys know what happened here? Do you? How do you gesticulate? No, Wade.
I
Do
mean,
you know? It's like the thumping brain. What happened here?
so I
Fighting? Magic?
I do.
Sorry.
Anath, I believe they're known to speak. They just do so rarely. I think
that's
we
fucking
can
rude.
converse with them as we would each other.
Sorry, my mistake. I shouldn't have swore. Can you speak?
They just keep moving around, getting on a little bit of a tighter radius.
I turn to Wade. I don't think they can speak.
I would like to look at whatever it is they're orbiting. Like there's something under the water there.
Yeah, I think from here now you are all still on the outside of this wall, and at this point they have dipped down below the edge of the wall out of your line of sight.
How tall is this wall?
It's probably a good 12 feet.
Cam, can you give me a boost?
Oh, yeah. She's gonna move up and just kind of do this
For help, I would like to climb up onto the wall.
Absolutely. I'll say with Cam's help and Cam's height, it's not that difficult. You know, Lyris is pretty athletic with Cam's assistance. No problem. You're able to scramble up to the top.
Oh, they're circling something here. Over a particular spot.
I'll say make a perception check for me. We're kind of into the. It's still generally a little bit light out, although the sun is going down in the afternoon, starting to fade.
Okay, that's 16.
16.
I got 17.
Well, and if you see some very fine craftsmanship in the wall.
I'm distracted, yeah. I'm focused on some good stuff.
But would everybody like to get up the top of the wall, or is it just Lyris going up there?
I would. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Cam will like help anyone who needs help, and then try to climb
And
up.
I will
Please?
also help from the top.
Puppies.
Yeah.
Puppies.
Thanks. As I reach down to help you.
I rolled a nat 20 on perception check
Okay,
for
cool.
a total of 26.
Nice. Lyris, you can kind of see a little bit a faint purple glow underneath the water. Wade, it's extremely apparent to you. It looks like there is a large, somewhat familiar crystalline formation growing at the bottom of the middle of this bastion in the submerged portion.
Familiar to him or to all of us?
Familiar to all of you.
You remember those crystals we have you seen some? Have you seen some while you've been with us?
I think so.
Actually-
in that first
Yeah.
basement, right?
Yeah, so the party ran into some of them in the secret cavern under the vineyards, and then all of you saw some more in the necromancer's laboratory under the abandoned shack where you first met.
Yes.
Did we ask
And that's what you think that
Alphatinde
is?
about those crystals? I don't remember if we did. Anyway, that's what they're hovering around.
Okay. Well, interesting. I thought they were drawn to emotion, but they're drawn to this crystal.
We also are not familiar with how these crystals form.
Good point. Also, they started circling it when they were asked what happened here. Perhaps this crystal has something to do with why these walls have been obliterated.
Can I Arcana, check the aura of magic around the crystal and just the area? Maybe even if I could walk towards the rubble.
Yeah, absolutely. Make me that Arcana check. Are you going to cast Detect Magic or anything, or just...
I don't think I have Detect Magic. I haven't prepared it, at least. Yeah, I have it. I haven't prepared it, though. Could I ritual... Let's see, can I ritual cast it? I can ritual cast it if everyone's okay with that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to just sit and wait for 10 minutes, but
You lot do whatever the
taking
fuck
time
you
to
want
do
for
it.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be I'll cast Detect Magic over the next 10 minutes.
Right.
Do not disturb sign placed over around, wrapped around my neck.
Right, and what are the three of y'all going to do while Anas is doing that?
Well, I think I might take a little swim.
Right.
Is this river a fast enough current that I would have to be worried about it, or?
Certainly not you.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna take a little swim and kind of investigate this crystal a little bit.
Alrighty.
The crystal is at the center of the will-o-wisps.
It is.
I'm not gonna leave Neth alone, so I think Cam will just kind of watch and stay here.
Whereas you hop down into the water and swim towards the crystal.
Yep.
All right. How close do you get to it?
I mean, I'm taking my time. I know that their ritual casting takes 10 minutes, so I'm in no rush. I'm just trying to get a closer look, and I'm going deep as I can go, kind of thing, trying not to like threaten the will-o-wisps. And I'm very slowly going to approach and see if I notice anything more.
Okay. So when you jump down into the water, you're able to swim at the deepest point of this channel that's running through the ruins of this old fort. It's pretty deep down here. There's probably maybe 20 feet of water above you. And as you get closer, you're able to make out some more details of this This is truly enormous. This is much larger than the crystal you saw growing in that basement underneath the abandoned shack a couple weeks ago. And it doesn't look like it follows any sort of the rules of growing that like a normal crystal would.
Right.
It'll like grow up and then turn at a weird angle, but also a column will keep going straight and kind of jogging. It's very jagged and follows like a strange geometry, unlike any sort of other kind of crystal that you've encountered. And it seems to be glowing with a faint light. And your passive's what? The perception. Like
16.
That's what 16.
Yeah.
You can, it almost looks like it's filled with fluid a little bit. Like you can see like something shifting, like the interior of the crystal is flowing. This purplish energy or some such substance.
That is interesting. How does it compare in size to the other one that I saw?
Much larger.
Okay.
Will be
So
about twice the size at least.
Yeah. And to my knowledge, like the only real thing that happened with the other one was that Wade touched it and then was able to like cast a more powerful spell.
Yep.
That's very interesting.
Well, he's... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, one more question. When he did that, the other one became like inert?
It lost, I believe it lost some of its, because he had been like holding a shard of one, if I'm remembering correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And that shard kind of lost some of its glow.
Okay, then I think I'll just head back and kind of report my findings for now. Go ahead, Fal.
Yeah, when he gets back, I'm going to say I'm thinking of investigating the surrounding area. I'm like walking around the wall and seeing if there's anything anything that I can find, anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Which way do you go the opposite way of the collapsed portion? Okay, cool. Heading that way.
Like that way.
Very nice. You can kind of see from over here, but as you get closer, it's quite apparent that there is a single skeleton. Pile of bones. Looks like somebody lying just dead on the ground right there. And it looks like by the state of it just being bones that it's been there for some time.
I'm gonna walk over there, assuming nothing happens along the way.
Can Can I be escorting him? I'm concerned about something attacking our wizard at point blank.
Well, isn't this while you were doing the other thing?
No, he said when I got back.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a once over of these bones. Do they resemble anything like any of the other skeletons we've come across with like the Skelgi or whatever, or is it just like bones?
So these bones do not appear to be covered in like a armor coating of the green substance that the other ones had been, but you can make me a medicine check if you would like.
I would not like. I rolled
That's an 8.
I rolled an 8.
Taking a moment to look at these, there is no obvious cause of death that sticks out. If the skeleton, if whoever's bones these were had been pelted with arrows, there's no arrows around. If they got hit on the head with a hammer, the skull did not crack.
Yeah, look like bones. Yeah.
There are some remnants of tattered clothes still clinging to some parts of the skeleton, however.
It's whoever it is, I guess they wouldn't mind if I tried going through their clothing, right?
Hard to say.
Mind if I go through their clothing? Oh wait, you're dead. Sorry.
I think you could still ask.
In all fairness, we're trying to determine how they died. I think that's what they would want.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can find any identification or any information about them.
Sure, make an investigation check for me.
I'm good at those. That's a 23.
Nice.
23, very nice. Yeah, you rummage through the tattered remains, the clothes still clinging to the skeleton, and there's not much left. But you do find some remnants of a book. And if you open the book, inscribed on the inside of the cover are the words, "The Journal of Professor Alden Locke."
Professor Alden Locke. Does this appear to be a wizard professor, or is this just like a non-wizard professor? Or am I even familiar with this Alden Locke?
Make a history check for me.
Also something I'm not good at. That's an 11.
The name does not ring a bell.
Hey, Lyris, you know Alden? You familiar with Alden? Alden Locke? Professor type.
I'm
Blurry
I
again?
don't know if I've come across him. I'm gotten so blurry. My memory's so hazy. I don't know. David, is there any way that I might...
Yeah, it's possible. Make me that history check.
Alright. It's pretty unlikely. 11.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Same
Actually,
answer.
it's a 12. Sorry.
Oh, well, that makes all... No.
The DC was 12.
The name also does not sound familiar to you.
Unfortunately, I'm not formally educated.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe my formal education didn't help me understand who it was either, so... I'm gonna just yell out to the will-o-wisp. Any of you Alden Locke? You know Alden Locke? No,
Can will-o-wisps be former people?
I don't
how that
know. Maybe
works.
I mean, if they can speak, maybe they know. Maybe they're friends. I guess not.
Are we
Um,
sad about this skeleton?
So you yell out to them, asking them if they are Alden Locke, or one of them is Alden Locke, and all three of them float over
Okay.
to you, and instead of circling around the crystal, they sort of start to hover in a circle around Wade.
Oh, hey there. Are you know Alden Locke?
Wade, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Uh-oh.
You could. Do you need me to? That's a 15.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can keep the same roll. I meant charisma save.
Oh, that's not a 15. That's an 8.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Whoa, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, wisdom proficiency.
Wisdom's, yeah, I'm proficient in wisdom, and that's something I got like +3 too.
Yeah, so Wade, all three of the will-o-wisps kind of converge onto you, and your body is no longer your own, although you are still aware of what is going on. Lyris and probably, depending on whether or not Cam is watching.
Yeah, Cam is standing beside Aneth, but watching what's going on.
See all three of these will-o-wisps kind of like enter, like pass through Wade and blink out, and he kind of looks around and takes a look at his hands. And
Lyris, did he just get possessed?
Someone got possessed.
Yes.
As I pause for a minute.
Are you Alden Locke?
I'm just reading this. I'm just reading the possession mechanics here real quick.
I've just gotten sudden information. He is possessed.
I suddenly believe the answer is yes. For no reason at all.
And it's kind of like a little bit of a raspy, hollow voice. Yes, Alden Locke.
Can I just request, just to really sell it to us, Val, can you say exactly what he's saying at the same time that he's saying it, just so that I can believe it?
Yeah, we need a mess. We need a mess.
This is the skeleton. Hi, we found your book. What happened here?
I was. This place is not safe. Be careful when you study this crystal.
So the
I
crystal
stay
is-
here to warn others.
I see. We found a crystal like this before. It didn't seem particularly harmful, except that the wizard that you're currently possessing was able to use stronger magic with it.
It's very. It's a great source of power, great source of danger. Looks like he's trying to think. I don't know how I died. I was studying the formation. Some entity who spoke with two voices.
Uh-oh.
tried to communicate with me. I tried to shut it out. And then years passed. Now we are here.
This was years ago?
Yes.
What did the entity identify themselves with any sort of name?
It called itself Kalxos. I'm going to put that in the stream chat for anybody who wants to spell that.
Why does that seem familiar? Did we find
Yep.
that name somewhere else?
Yep. I have a note about it. It's the name that they gave to the pestilence, is what it says.
Oh shit. To the pestilence, like the disease?
LG.
As
The
they're
skeletons.
still talking, oh goodness, oh no, oh no,
The Skelgi was
Kalxos.
Merc.
Yeah, that was
The
the Merc.
So what was Kalxos?
It
Was that
was-
the warlord?
It was.
Okay, alright.
Would
Now
my
we're on the same
magic have
page.
finished? Away, accuracy. Or you guys, would it still be happening?
Up to you.
Now seems like a good 10 minutes.
Sure. Let's say it's been 10 minutes. And while you're having this conversation, you finish the detect magic ritual, and you are able to detect just an almost schoolless source of magic. Just, or maybe all of the schools. It's hard to say. You know, and you get all the different colors of light together, it makes white, right? Emanating from this thing. It's make another Arcana check now that you've got this spell up.
Could I argue with advantage?
I think you could argue with advantage.
Can I get a dab in chat, please, everyone? Alright, that's unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Or, yeah, unnatural 20, that's the highest.
You can't quite place which one, but the magic emanating from this crystal is not coming from within it. It is being channeled from elsewhere, and you think it's probably another plane.
Sorry, I was smiling from chat, and I realized, oh, this probably isn't something to be smiling about.
So magic's being channeled through the crystal from another plane.
Hey, yo, this is like... I was going to say a telephone. It's not at all. But, like, I mean, my boy don't know that. I mean, he probably would have an idea. I mean, like, the astral plane is something like to be aware of and stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah, like you would be
Like,
aware. I
plane.
mean, you know, being a druid, you're very familiar with the Feywild and other big elemental planes, and you can say it's not the Feywild and it's not any of the elemental planes.
Gotcha, boss. What kind of can I get a vibe check? What's like the general feeling I can get from?
Like kind of like an alignment, I guess.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, like is it like chaotic energy? Or...
Yeah, it is
Ooh.
chaotic.
Oh shit, son.
Yeah.
I was gonna just say like just
Yes.
generally like what kind of yeah energy I guess. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna grab Cam's hand and then I'm gonna start running up to the group.
I have to like slow my pace a little bit.
No, we gotta rush. My magic.
Dragging you behind.
It's a chaos stone or something. Like it's communicating from a different
Chaos
plane.
Emerald.
Yo, that's genius.
We're all gonna go supersonic.
You reckon there's like 7 of them? What
We
happens
gotta
if
run down a pipe
frog
and collect
eat it?
some rings.
Easy. I've jumped in a barrel. I could jump in a pipe.
All right. Well, what's his name again? Alden. Alden, what did you learn about this crystal before you suddenly came to an end?
It can be used to channel magical energy and to cast spells more potently with less of your own expenditure. But it can have unpredictable effects on the spell and on the wielder. The more power that is channeled through it.
Like wild magic?
Yeah. Similar.
My cousin had that problem. Bad ninja gesture.
He should get that looked at.
Oh no, yeah, we had one of the witch doctors look at him. Gave him a few antacids, so it
Which
cleared him
doctor
right
was
out.
that?
No, it's like the 5 W's. Okay, it's you learn about it in school, which I didn't go to.
Is it possible that Calxus somehow channeled energy through this stone at you?
I believe that is possible.
Did they tell you what they wanted from you?
They did not tell. More of a feeling. Wanted control and subservience.
Well, to our knowledge, this Calxus was some sort of warlord, so that makes sense.
Other than, did the stone just appear, or like were you guys studying it, making it, or?
And Wade, if you do want your body back at some point, you can try and make another charisma saving throw if Wade is resisting this possession.
Am I aware?
Mm-hmm. You're aware of everything that's going on.
I would have been fine if they had asked for permission. I feel like we're getting information from the exchange, so I'll allow it for now.
Okay. Sorry, what was that last question?
Me?
Whoever asked.
Were you involved in making the stone? Were you like studying it? Did you find it here? What's the situation?
It was here in the ruin when I found it.
And so the ruins were also already ruins.
Yes.
Do you suspect
You wouldn't
that
have
the stone caused the fort to crumble in some way?
It's difficult to determine.
You wouldn't happen to know the history of the fort, was it? When it was put here, like, were you local, out of curiosity?
Stillwater Watch was built before the war.
Am I able to converse with Alden while being possessed?
You can try. You could try and think something at it.
Yeah, so he mentioned the war. I just want to clarify, like, which war is he referring to?
I think you would know that it's from the context. It would be the big war that you have now uncovered some of the history of with the warlord and all that.
The war with Kelksas.
Yeah.
So it was. I could I ask Alden and sort of like get him to speak out loud about like when was he around? Like what was he around close to the war? Or was he like, more recent?
Let me see. And from the rest of you outside, none of you hear this question, but the spirit just seems to volunteer out of nowhere that war was several hundred years in the past when my group came upon this place.
Do you have any concept of how these crystals come to be formed?
That's what I was studying when I died.
Do you have a theory?
Nothing solid. I think they are channeled. I don't think they're a natural phenomenon. That's as much as I could determine.
Conjured, perhaps. Alright, well. Anyone else have any questions for our friend Alden here?
Were you the only one studying these things, or are there other people that we could turn to who might have information along the same lines, or who maybe continued work after you passed?
Dr. Elara Whitlock and Professor Victor Ashford.
Do you know where we might be able to find them? I know that you've been here for a couple of years, but it may be pointing us in a direction.
And then Wade's hand kind of goes up and points along the general direction of the river towards Crystal Harbor.
In the city. Well, thank you for your help. Also, just so you know, I've been learning a lot about how society works since and what I've come to know from other people is that you should always ask for consent before you go and touch or possess their bodies.
No other way of speaking.
Oh, I suppose that's fair.
Well, thank you for trying to protect people from the dangers of this crystal.
And I think at that point, you'll see sort of like a form of a middle-aged, bespectacled man sort of delaminates itself from Wade that then breaks back apart into 3 will-o-wisps.
You okay, Wade?
And you're back.
That was a new experience.
Good one though? Or...
So you never had a man inside you before?
Can't say that I have, no.
Straight to jail. Straight
Pam
to
is
jail.
looking between them like...
It's right. You never need to be conclusive about these things.
Could you hear everything he said?
Yes. I was able to ask him a couple of questions as well, just because I wasn't really familiar with, like, if he was born closer to our time or if he was closer to the war with Kalksas or not.
That's why he offered up that information to us, I guess.
Does the journal is there any mention of like attempts to damage the crystal or
yeah, if you
cut
spend
its
some
connection?
time flipping through it, there's a detailing that survives of an effort to try and chip some of it off, and that was successful, but there was a big discharge of magical energy in that process that caused some injuries to some of the research team. And they learned a little bit better about how to do it more safely, but never quite nailed down perfectly how to cut this crystal without doing that. But based on the readings, you think that they thought that it was possible. They just hadn't figured out exactly what to do yet.
No, I guess if I had the ability to what's that spell that you cast, Cam? The one where you cut like the magic? I forget its name.
The one where I cut the magic.
Yeah, you
Cut.
Like
yeah,
remove
you
it.
do like a haircut. Mm-hmm.
The spell
The name
magic.
off the top of my head. Yes. I'm wondering if there's a way to cut the connection between the other plane to this crystal.
Oh.
I feel like that would be the safest way to deal with these crystals. However, we were there with Elvitunde, right? When she experienced that. She was doing that divination and she got like that jolt.
Yes.
I'm concerned that something similar might happen if we try to dispel the magic without protecting ourselves.
Oh, how do you protect yourself from that?
Magic items, or if there's some sort of spell that would, increase your resistance, say, to those types of attacks.
Cam just goes a little bit lost in thought as Vix looks at her spell list.
I feel like, because I was considering just like casting a bunch of spells at it to destroy it, but if the crystal is getting powered from some other plane, right? It's not like the crystal is physically connected to that other plane, so it feels like the best way would be to just cut the connection. Because I mean, if the crystal is still in parts, it can still be channeled towards.
Well, I do have a lot of ways I could protect myself, but do we know what sorts of things we're protecting against? Because that's a very key component for being able to do so effectively.
Based off of our understanding of Kalksas, I feel like we might be able to classify this individual as evil.
Seems like a fair assumption.
If that's something you could protect yourself from.
I do know how to do that. I can't do it right now though. I don't have that prepared today.
That's fine. I think it's something we can consider in the future. I don't
Only if we're an acid crystal. Hey, wait.
And we haven't tried to lick it.
Enough.
Do you want to try to lick the crystal?
Let me lick it.
Wait, Anath doesn't know how to swim, right?
No,
Okay.
It's like 20
Water
feet
can-
under.
Yeah.
I just look at the water. Or we're gonna have to bring it closer.
A little short of it.
Okay.
I pull out a pickaxe. I don't have a pickaxe. Alright. If anyone got any floaties or anything, or
Well, there's a lot of wood around.
Alright.
Wood floats.
yes,
How
wood has
how
buoyancy.
does your that tiny hut spell? How does that work again, Cam?
It works in many ways. Are you talking about what sort of protection it offers?
Yeah, in
As-
regards to spells, that had some sort of protections, right? Like no spells can come.
It can't come through or be cast inside of it, or cast through it.
So she wouldn't be able to use dispel magic from inside either.
I'm wondering if that would alone, that in and of itself would cut the connection.
Oh, casting it over top?
She would have to be inside that space.
So the crystal's probably a little bit too big to fit entirely within a tiny hut.
I'd like to know Anath's patience is smaller than is shorter than the conversation they're having. So I would have went toward as soon as I'd been told that that bit of wood float. I'd held on to it and just started kicking him away.
All right. Yeah, you grab. You'll see Anath grab a piece of wooden debris that had been lodged somewhere and kind of use it as a little floaty and start kicking out
A little
towards
pool
the
noodle.
middle of this stream.
A pool plank, if you will.
I will.
Anath, what are you doing over there?
I'm gonna touch it as I'm already halfway there. I'm gonna touch the button. No.
Well, it is still 20 feet under the surface.
Ooh.
Well, the top of the crystal is probably only like
It's
12,
protruding.
10 to 12 feet down. It's quite tall.
Okay, I'm trying to reach as best I can, stretching as far as I can to do it.
While he's doing that, does anyone have some chalk or some ink that I could borrow?
Anath, could you make an athletics check for me while they're doing that?
I'm good at this.
I do not.
No,
have
15.
things.
15? No worries.
I do
You're-
have some spellcasting materials, necromancy spellcasting materials. Would any of those?
A wizard's probably got
Think-
chalk on him, I'm going to say.
Oh, I think I think I have chalk of some sort around here. Just generic spellcasting materials.
Would I be able to borrow some of that to write with?
Sure.
She's gonna take some of the chalk and she's gonna go over to this wall that she's standing nearby, and she's going to start writing on it. And she's gonna say, "Would you like to be possessed by the glowing orbs?" And then underneath, put yes on one side and no.
Oh my lord,
on
she's
the
making a Ouija
other.
board.
And when she's done, she looks over to where the will-o-wisps were, and she goes, "There you go. Now you could ask them for consent, just by hovering around this area."
If a ball of light that is without any surface detail could look happy, it does.
Just free little.
kind of like making a V.
Yes.
When you cast Tiny Hut once, what happens if you cast it a second time?
I
You
don't.
get a tinier hut.
I
Gabrielle's
don't
nesting hut.
know.
Oh, that'd be such a cool spell, actually.
Is it 2 tiny huts, or is
Well, the
I don't
thing
think
is,
she can cast inside the hut, and the hut only works while she's inside it.
But you can cast a spell inside the hut. It just can't go
pass
through the
through.
barrier. And since the hut would be exactly the same size, you just kind of have like 2 superimposed on each other, and that really probably wouldn't do very much. But we can find out.
like, she has to be at the center of it, and if she leaves that area if she leaves the area, then it like goes away or something.
If Cam steps outside of the hut, now other people that aren't Cam can pop in and out of the hut.
This might be beyond what we can do right now. If we learn more
Oh.
about it, maybe we could figure out what we can actually do to get rid of that connection for good.
You might have a point there. It's sometimes hard to admit that. Well, we have ascertained what has happened here, which was our goal in the first place. I believe we are able to relay this information. I don't know how much detail we need to go into, given the dangerous nature of these crystals. We can consider how we're going to word this on our way there.
Have we considered maybe if like they're being researched, what if the guild is researching them already? And they know about it. And it's an inside job. Sorry, I got my
Somebody
tinfoil hat.
certainly
Sorry,
knows
let me take that
something. The last crystal we found was in a necromancer's lair, so there are spellcasters around who know about these.
I feel like it would have been hard for Flynn not to have noticed those crystals where the skeleton people were being worked at the winery. But I could be wrong. Maybe he's not aware. I feel like he probably is, but yeah. I feel like we need to bring this up to people who we can trust, who are more adept at magic than we are.
What is the range on your dispel magic?
Good question. Sorry, I don't think I have it prepared, so... Oh, I do have it prepared. It's about 120 feet.
Really? It's that far? Dang.
That seems like that alone might be a safe enough distance.
Well, I can give it a shot.
Are there any protections you can put in place before trying?
Everyone can stand back really far if they would like.
I'll make a fair distance. I've got my plank as a shield.
I've never seen any sort of magic that affected that wide a radius.
Yeah, so if you get that like tower that's kind of to the northwest of you would be about as far away as any place you can see.
Ooh.
That would also give you line of sight on the crystal, and that'll put you, counting in the verticality, that'd put you about 90 feet away from the top of the crystal. If you were in the very, very furthest back corner of that rickety ass platform.
Well, we can go and take cover, and I don't have anything prepared on me that could help. At least not protect against any sort of evil entity that's trying to do whatever it did to Mr. Eldon. But I don't think we want to wait a bunch of time, do we?
We do have a boat waiting for us.
They did say that they would leave if something came up, so we might want to...
I want to zoom.
She's going to take out her shield and then start moving up to the tower, and she'll just kind of hide behind it and cast Dispel Magic at it.
I will go with her.
You said the one to the north?
Yeah. So that'll put you about 80 feet from the crystal in a straight line.
Okay. Well, we're going to try this then.
All right, and everybody going up there?
With my shield plank, I am.
With your shield plank, yeah, and F doggy paddles back over with the stick.
It's damp.
It can take one hit.
It's
one hit less for me.
that plank has a one-time use immunity to fire damage just for itself.
I would like to add it is wet.
Hence the immunity.
2-time immunity. Gonna evaporate the water.
Once dries it. The second time
Exactly.
burns it.
Yes.
Second.
All right. Tell me what Cam is hoping. What is she thinking? Like, what is her ideal outcome for this dispel magic?
I think she's trying to make this crystal sort of kind of self-contained here. Like, she doesn't know if she can get rid of its magical properties altogether, but she wants to get rid of the connection that seems to be tethering it elsewhere, if possible.
All right. And as you cast Dispel Magic, focusing on that, make an Arcana check for me, please.
Alrighty. Not good at those, but... not bad. What do I have? A -2, so that's a 16.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. So, Cam, what is your Dispel Magic look like?
I never thought of that. I feel like you see a bit of whatever magic she's interacting with, as if it was like kind of ripping out a shadow from it, and then it turns into like a glittery dust in the air if it is successful.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. So this Cam's glittering magic envelops this crystal and pulls off like this scintillating orb of energy, which tries to contain and dismiss, but in that, like, compressing, and eventually this small ball of magic detonates. And fortunately, you are all far away enough, but you see this just like scintillating Technicolor explosion that kind of like dazzles all of your vision for a moment. And but
it like reflects off of me in multicolors.
yeah, it's like a disco,
Disco
ball.
ball.
Yeah.
Could I have like Arcana if that was like wild magic, or if that was like intended or anything?
We'll get to that in a second. But when your vision returns, it seems like you feel that the spell did what you wanted it to do, Cam. But when you look back, it looks like parts of the fort have been pulled and stretched and bent, almost like made from putty or clay. But seem to be holding in this like twisted posture in the brickwork, and some of the wood is like spiraled around itself. Some of these like old planks have been fully turned in loops. But it's probably a good thing that you weren't right next to that, but it seems to have maybe worked. And go ahead and make that check for me, Kaz.
Mm-hmm. You mean to roll Arcana?
Yes.
Alright, that's a plus something. Where's my sheet? 7. I felt so smart as well.
If this is wild magic, it's manifesting very differently from your cousins.
Damn. They sure ain't indigestion.
And it's also worth noting that it wasn't particularly loud.
Oh yeah, he was loud.
There was a little bit of a sound, kind of a.
Oh, he did
more
make that kind of
bright
noise.
than anything else.
It's more of a groaning, is what he did.
So this place kind of looks like a friggin' messed up painting now? Is that what?
Yeah, kind of. If there were clocks here, they'd be melted.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
That's such a cool like vibe.
Anath's detect magic is still up, right?
Yeah, I think we'd probably be getting that. That lasts for a little while. It'd probably still be going on.
Oh shit! Up to 10
Nah.
minutes. Yeah.
Is,
If it's still going.
Is that connection severed?
I believe so.
you might have to move a little bit closer. I think the range on that's only 30 feet.
We
Think
can head
so
back
as well.
down. It looks like it's over. And he'd be able to see any ongoing magical effects as we
Yeah.
approach them. So
Yeah, within 30 feet of you. So yeah, as soon as I get the chance, I'd rush back in.
Yeah, it looks like that the crystal itself is still got that magical energy stored within it. But those currents that you saw flowing around, circulating inside of it, have dramatically slowed down. Almost come to a stop. So whatever was pouring power, it's a reasonable assumption that whatever was pouring power into this is no longer doing so.
you relay that information to us, Anath?
I do.
All right. Then
So
if the danger seems to subside, Lear's is going to go ahead and jump back in the water.
Go for it.
could I assume then it's like, so it's very much like it's essentially a bomb. It's kind of like it's like the ticking, the criteria for its explosion is specifically when it's supercharged.
I think that if all of the energy, like if all of the magical energy that you can sense inside of it were released all at once, that would probably be bad. Or very destructive, I say. I don't want to assign a morality to an explosion. Yeah, Lyris, you jump in the water. It's thick.
Some thick water.
Thick.
Yeah.
How?
Like viscous.
Goodness.
Is it still water though? Like I can breathe it?
Yeah, you can still breathe it.
Heavy water.
This is weird. This is off-putting. But I'm going to swim up to the crystal.
Yeah, and the kind of, at least for a time, and is the water's still flowing, but it's flowing a lot slower, equivalent with its viscosity. And as you dive in, you can see that some of the water flowing from upstream is kind of going over and making a layer on top of this gravy.
Ugh.
And
very strange.
Running over it and kind of pulling some of it, churning it a little bit, and you think eventually this extra viscous water will probably clear. But the closer you get to the crystal, at least for the moment, the more viscous it gets.
I'm going to quickly touch the crystal.
Just like a little boop.
Yep.
You do that.
Okay.
It's very cold.
Hmm.
Kind of the cold that's like so cold it feels warm.
Well, fortunately, Tritons are resistant to such things.
Oh yeah, it's not enough to cause damage, but you're like, this is extreme temperature.
I'm going to. So you said like it juts off in like random directions and stuff. So I'm gonna find like a sizable chunk that kind of juts out from it.
Yeah, it looks like the crystal was affected a little bit by the explosion. Some of the protruding, almost like growing like the arms of like a pine tree, but kind of up at an angle, have been twisted around it almost to make like a helix sort of shape.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I'm gonna find a sizable, nothing too huge, nothing too small either, just like a good sizable, like holdable chunk. Get my dagger right into like the crevice, like what's the word I'm looking for? Seam? I don't know. And just whack it with a hammer.
The geologic term is the cleavage plane.
Well, I'm gonna stick my tool in the cleavage plane and just start hammering.
Very good.
Lyris.
I'm underwater.
Oh, I was gonna tell him we have notes on how to do it more safely, but okay.
I mean, a message.
I probably should have talked about my intent before I went in, but I didn't. So let's see if it kills me.
Can you, Lyris, please? So, make me a. This is just a non-magical dagger, right?
Yep.
Just make me an attack roll.
All right. That's a 25.
Yeah, you're able to wedge it in there and kind of pry off a little bit, and as it cracks, there's like this thrumming of energy, and I'm gonna. Oh, you have a swim speed, so no disadvantage. You can make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Okay. That is a 19.
19, yeah. So as you crack this piece off, you can see that, or you get the sense that there's about to be some sort of release of energy from this thing, and you're able to very quickly kind of drop it and propel yourself away from it. And then just a small like emanates from it, and then it seems to be still. And you were able to get out of the radius of whatever that was before it happened, and it seems to just be sitting down there, glowing faintly. And you're able to go pick it back up.
Yeah, I pick it back up and I swim back to the group. Here you go, Wade. I brought you something to play with.
Got a piece probably about
this. Maybe put some mittens on or something.
Probably about the size of a baseball. That you're a piece about like that big.
If you want, I can grab more, but it did try to explode when I pried it off.
Alden did have notes about a slightly, more successful way of retrieving parts of it. Less
what
dangerous.
Did you do differently?
And I will take out the notebook and refer to said notes?
Yeah, there's just notes about different processes they tried for extracting it, using different kinds of tools, casting various different spells at it, applying different protections to themselves. And it seemed like they were zeroing in on something that would, if not completely suppress the release of energy, to at least protect them from it so they could take samples. And the thing that sticks out to you in the notes, Wade, is that they were at some of the last entries that you're able to read, they were experimenting with various ways to protect themselves from psionic energy.
I don't have much protections against psionic energy, but I feel like that's what we would that's what we would be trying to go for.
So that blast just now would have been another one to my brain. I'm not liking how many things are going after my brain out here.
So you got to put a helmet on.
Tinfoil.
Tinfoil hat, yeah.
Yeah, I tapped my tinfoil hat.
Helmet of psionic resistance.
You mean make
well,
you
I
one?
think
No.
I mean, I can shape it. I can do loads.
I
got
think
some
our
I feel
job
like
here.
that's an anath style thing. It's not really for me.
Me just standing there in like this fucking this mismatched fashion. What do you mean?
I feel like our job here is done. I'd be interested in harvesting more of the crystal, but that's not why we came out here.
But
Hopefully,
it did only take a moment. If you want, I can go back and get a few more for you.
Isn't one enough?
Hey,
I
Mr.
want
Water
more,
Genasi
but-
over here can also breathe water. And breathe.
Yeah, but it might be too
My man
cold for
is
him
the
to touch it
water.
directly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're holding it now, and you can feel that it is very cold, but it's not damaging. I mean, maybe if you like held it for like 20 minutes in your bare hand, you might get like a little frostbite or something. But
Could I let my greed win?
also, you
What would
can.
that-
Something also sticks out to all of you now is that the waterfall is a lot quieter than it used to be.
What if that was the drain?
Why?
Right.
What? What? Why?
Oh, he's watching it twice now.
I feel like that would stand out to Lyris as something off-putting, being so connected with water.
So Lyris is actually saying, "What? Why?" when he notices.
Should we?
The waterfall downstream or upstream?
The one downstream.
Should we
I'm
investigate?
gonna swim towards the edge and look into it. Yeah, that's weird, man.
I'll walk along the wall.
Yeah, it looks like there's a large pile of debris that the water was flowing over and through, and it looks like now that this basin formed by the by this watch post was completely filled with this extra viscous water, and now it's kind of just going like bloop, bloop, over the top of that and kind of splashing like somebody throwing a jello mold down the waterfall rather than flowing like running water.
Did you say it's something sexy? That was.
I mean, that's really up to you.
I'm just wondering now, is he thinking this could be used?
It's a new product.
I mean, it is pretty viscous.
Heavy
I'm
water.
gonna go ahead and take a couple vials.
Heavy water for her pleasure.
You know what? I am legitimately curious about this stuff, though, so I do actually want to collect some. Like, I don't know what's causing it to be like this, and it's weird. I don't have any containers, I don't think, though.
Can I empty my water skin and
Yeah.
then fill it? And I cork it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, toss it to me.
As I go down to the water with my hand.
It's weird. It tastes like water, but
Yeah, but it's
thick.
heavy in it. I want to understand. I want to experience it. You know, what is this new life if not to experience things? You know, my man ate basement eggs. I don't think there's any flaw to the shit. Not eggs
is
in the
there a way-
basement. It was the basement's eggs.
Basements hatched from eggs in this universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna collect some of it in my water skin as well, and then I'm gonna just try to help it clear because I'm concerned about flooding this whole area while it builds up. So I'm gonna just kind of try to get more and more of it off this area so that it just starts flowing normally again.
You're blurry again.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Too much thick water on the camera.
Is there a way to estimate approximately how much of this viscous water is in this area?
Like the volume?
Yeah, like if I were to say create or destroy some said water.
Well, there is a way. If you would like to do the math, please be my guest. Each one of those squares is roughly 5 feet, and throughout the entirety of the basin, it is an average of 10 feet deep. There are places that are quite shallow and places that are quite deep.
Probably more than 10 gallons.
Little bit, yeah.
All right. Let me see if my boy can help you. He can. Oh no, he can't. It's not ritual cast. Never mind.
Gallon of water is about 1 cubic foot, so you could do about 10 cubic feet. Should be 1 5-foot square to a depth of 2 feet.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
My D&D.
I can clear 30 gallons with the 3rd level create or destroy water. But I don't think that's anywhere near what we're looking for. This area is probably gonna flood whenever this clears up.
What if we build a dam?
That would also cause it to flood. That's literally what this is doing.
Let me just be clear. It is still flowing.
Yeah.
The water level at this point is rising a little bit, but
Yeah, so all I'm trying to do is clear out a bit of it so that it keeps flowing
yeah,
and doesn't end up flooding the area, you know?
You wager that it would probably clear itself over time, just with the flow of the stream flowing down into the fort. But it might raise the water level a little bit. Might wash away some of your chalk writing.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. Take 5
Yeah.
minutes and just kind of clear out the worst of it at the top.
Yeah.
And just kind of let it be.
Yeah, you're able to clear away some of the rubble so that there's a more defined channel that it can flow through more freely, and the speed does pick up. But it's very weird watching this thick. It's like sliding and oozing over the rocks down the waterfall instead of falling.
Blended jello or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've done what I can for it.
Yeah, I think we've come across another magical mystery. We have no shortages of
swallow
books.
Some of them are related, guys.
A mystery we'll never ever understand.
Well,
We're
should-
gonna abandon it right here forever.
We're gonna have to put a plug in this thing, if you know what I'm saying.
we've got a rock to study. We've got other people who are already studying it. We head back to town. We look into it. If we find out more uses for this rock, then we'll come back for it. For
Actually,
now,
question:
it's safely disconnected from the most dangerous aspects of it.
am I feeling hydrated from the liquid?
Yeah,
What does it taste like?
tastes like
Is
water,
it
but
pleasant?
thick.
Water.
This is like pretty good quality, fresh stream water. You wager that this is probably fed by a spring somewhere up in the mountains. Maybe a few of them that flow together further upstream.
Yeah.
It's
I
nice,
just don't. Damn, that's good.
nice, refreshing spring water, but thick.
I just noticed. I don't. To be honest, I don't. I think it's just water. I think it's just a bit consistent in it. So it might be fine. We could hang the water skin to someone to study if we're worried about it.
I'm gonna wave Professor Locke over before we go because I'm not sure. Is the will-o-wisp, were they unaffected by this, or
They seemed to drift kind of out of the way with you.
okay? Because I'm not sure if they understood what we were doing or if they knew the value of what happened. I'll be like, hey, Professor Locke.
And the orbs sort of flee. I'm making up words here.
Did you say
They-
play?
Yes, they completely flay you.
Oh Lord!
Oh God.
They
Another new
hover.
experience.
Wizard guys.
They hover in front of Cam's consent wall.
She's gonna run into the yes area. Me.
You're doing that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I was just making sure we weren't doing a bit. Yeah, and then the will-o-wisps pass through you, Cam, and so you let the possession happen.
Yeah, and she plays it up a little bit with some thumb. she can make her eyes like all flicker.
Yeah. There's like a rumbling, and some pebbles on the ground start vibrating, and your eyes start
What's going on?
glowing white. And yeah, it seems that what remains of Professor Locke has possessed Cam with consent.
Just so you're aware, Cam, the individual you're currently possessing, dispelled the magic. Anath here was able to ask that Calxos was channeling energy into these crystals. So Cam dispelled that magic, cut the connection from whatever other plane that this magic was coming from. So while they may still be charged with whatever type of magic this is, the danger should be less. It's still, like, as you saw, it's still dangerous to, remove parts of the crystal, but the danger with Calxos should be greatly lessened.
Just like takes a breath in, getting used to controlling this form. We tried dispelling it, but it did not work. My compliments on your companion's spellcraft.
Yes, I was concerned. We are acquainted with an individual who's able to cast spells far greater than what I'm capable of doing. And while they were doing some divination for us, they It didn't go as well as we thought, so I was concerned with something similar happening with this. But thankfully, despite whatever weird magical residual effects are happening, the connection there should be gone.
That's good to know. If you do get to the bottom of it, I would appreciate if you would come tell me.
Sounds like a plan.
If
Thank
any
you
of
for...
my... I don't know how long it has been, but if any of my companions still live.
Do you know approximately what year you were studying the crystal? Or
He
what
would, but I
maybe
have not
events?
implemented a a year system for this world, so...
Or like what, maybe perhaps like what events were transpiring, like any major, I don't know, political
He'll give you a year, and it will be approximately 50 years ago.
Are your colleagues Elvish by any chance?
I was also hoping that.
One of them is.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a good hope there.
Anything else that the party would like to ask Cam or...
Are you okay with us keeping your book, or do you feel like it would serve more purpose staying here?
Ooh, that's a good question. It will only succumb more to the elements here.
That's fair. That's fair.
Take it, preserve it.
We know you just said that like you'd like us to come back if we find out more. But are you content? Like, are you happy just wandering as a wisp for like, God knows something? Like, if we die along the way, like you'll be here forever. Like, are you happy knowing that? Like, do you want to send you on or anything? Is there anything we could do?
Not until this mystery is solved.
You for sure. What about your pals?
Do not know what has become of them.
I point to the other wisps over there.
Oh no, they're all.
Oh, it's all one. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Are your companions? Are they part of the hall?
We have worked with the hall.
Was there a point of contact in the hall that you were familiar with?
Who was working at the hall 50 years ago?
Any of those races that have like a 200 plus lifespan?
Hang on, I'm just looking at my NPC, my
Lynn.
list of NPCs here.
Glenn Diabold.
That motherfucker.
Elven wizard.
Let me see. I think I maybe had encountered a wizard by that name a couple of times.
Concerning. Could be.
There was a gnome. Thembis.
Excuse me?
Wait,
Thembis?
they're connected with the hall?
That's what we're learning.
Or had been at some point.
Fembis. I'm terrible with names. Shamklembo.
So you hear Cam say unprompted, "Yes, I think that was her last name." He smelled of wet soil. Very strange. Very strange.
Petrichor.
Okay, I'm casting
Not a
blue.
terrible smell. All right, we will attempt to find your companions, and I'm not sure about talking to Flynn regarding this, but we may have to at some point. But we can reach out to Fembis. We have dealt with Fembis in the past in regards to other quests of similar natures, such as what led us here. Oddly enough.
I think as the spirit leaves her body, again, Cam makes the ground like tremble beneath her feet.
And having spoken, made a new ghost buddy, and having consumed some thick water, I think that's a pretty good time to go on a break.
Yeah.
Always gonna want a break after consuming thick water.
Go and get your thick water, and we'll.
That is a product that you can buy.
Go Google it. Make sure you order some, and we'll be back.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
What y'all want to do?
I would
Play
like to
D&D
level up,
maybe.
please.
We'll get to both of those things eventually.
Connect.
No, I think we're done with the fort for the time being. So I
Start
think
heading
we can
back.
just head back to our boat, get to Crystal Harbor.
Apologize
Yeah.
to the barge man, or woman, or person.
I believe you got Leaf Red Stream again.
Yeah. I mean, we paid them, didn't we? To like hold out
Yes,
a little
yes.
bit. So,
Yeah, they
I
said
mean,
they would.
I think, yeah.
They said they would only leave if something like dangerous happened,
So
and
cool,
for all we
yeah.
know, they might have been attacked while they were there. I don't know.
Yeah,
When they come
I
back,
should-
it's just covered in blood.
Oh, Lord.
their whole ship and all the people on it are just like a blurry painting now.
And there's a T-Rex in the cargo hold.
Sounds about that one.
Right, yeah. So you're able to I think from this vantage point you'd be able to see the barge leaving if it had left. You can see a pretty far
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
And you don't see it anywhere further down the river.
All right. Well, let's head back.
Yeah, you're able to climb down. Takes you a little while going careful, but all y'all working together, y'all got ropes and strong people and things, and it's easy enough to get back down there and Leaf
Talking
sees you
about
come
me.
and he'll shout out.
Oh.
What was that light?
Oh, you saw that.
That was really bright.
Yeah, that was us just getting rid of the danger up here. So
Oh, good.
probably won't see the lights as often now, but the will-o-wisps haven't left yet.
Well, I'll make sure not to wander too close to him.
Oh, they have a name, and they might ask you
Mhm.
if you would like to be possessed, but they're fairly harmless.
They mean you no harm.
The will-o-wisp was not the danger.
Correct.
They were actually trying to help warn people about the danger.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad there's adventures like you around so that I don't have to do stuff like that. That sounds crazy.
Oh, that is probably the least crazy thing that we've done since we grouped up.
Everything up there
Feeling
looks all
well.
swirly now. It's pretty interesting to look at.
Swirly? You know what? No, that's,
she just nods.
never mind. You know what? That's fine. You all ready to get going?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, that's good. 'Cause I think I personally want to be far away from swirly things that are asking you to possess them. So, it looks like
That's fair.
pulling up, undoing the ropes where he tied the barge off to a tree.
Yeah, like I said, most of the danger is resolved, and you know that's a good attitude to have generally. But I would ask you a favor, since you travel this river a lot. If you see people like up there, like people, not just glowing lights, maybe let us know if you have the opportunity.
All right, yeah, I'll keep an eye out, and if we cross paths again, I'll certainly let you know.
Just let them know that the area's probably not. Just let them know it's dangerous up there.
That I think I can do.
Good.
He gets a large pole and pushes the barge away from the side of the bank. We start carrying on down the river towards Crystal Harbor. Anything y'all are up to on the boat on the way there?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Actually, sorry, there might be one thing. She's going to look at the group and she seemed a little bit far off in thought, which is usually means there's nothing going on in her head, but this time there's something going on in her head. And she just says, should we talk to Fembus about Alden?
I
Okay.
was considering it,
Yes.
as that's probably where the quest came from, right? From the mayor. And Fembus is probably in charge of those sorts of things.
Yeah,
Well-
I think that is where we got the quest from.
So you got this quest from like a quest board in Crystal Harbor. Fembus, remember, works in Sten's Gap.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Fair enough.
I have that confused. My apologies.
Although it is worth talking to Thembus when we return to Sten's Gap.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering if we had anything pressing to talk to her about, because I could send her a message if there's anything we need to know now.
I don't think there's anything
Yeah, I don't think there's anything
we need to
pressing.
know immediately. We can probably talk to Professor Locke's companions if we find them first, and then see if they know anything. If we need to get in touch with Fembus, because I mean, I'd rather reach out to Fembus than Lynn.
Okay, well,
Although,
that is an option. I do have that prepared if we decide we need a question answered immediately.
thank you for bringing that up.
I think that's all that she has to say right now.
Mhm.
Is that the biggest explosion of glitter you've ever seen, Cam?
Oh, it was quite a spectacle. I really enjoyed it.
You did a splendid job there.
I should really think about my own glittery explosions, like on that caliber, I think. I think that would be really something.
Seems dangerous.
But what if, I mean, if we've got 3 wizards, we've got, 4 spellcasters. What if whenever you attack, we could prepare ourselves together and
Like a team attack.
Exactly.
I could have like we could add some dramatics to it, and I could kind of do like a little spinny thing and make myself look like I'm transforming my outfit while I do so.
Oh, yo, that'd be quite magical, girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, you'd be just like one of those sailors that worship Saluna.
Are there sailors that worship Saluna?
Yeah, they often use the moon to navigate by and to live by, and they're sailors of the moon.
I don't know why I didn't see that coming.
We were working up to.
Are there other sailors of other celestial beings and such? Surely. Makes sense. I mean, there's many stars up there.
Could be possible.
A few hours
We'll
of
have to look for
floating
more
later.
sailors.
Yeah, so we're floating as we're talking. And...
Yes. Floating and talking. Floating and talking. Yeah, a few hours of floating later, you arrive back in the docks on the north side of Crystal Harbor.
So where are we going first again?
So it's quite late by now. The sun has gone down. Well, not quite late. There's still people out and about, but it is after dark into the evening.
I guess we did like travel down the mountain and then down the river and then deal with this, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think what we should do is head back to Wade's place, and I'll take another shower.
Sit around in a towel all night.
Hey, I gotta do the fan service, okay?
It does sound nice.
Taking a shower.
So so I guess we head back to Wade's place for the night.
Sounds good. Yeah, and y'all are able to do that. It's a very familiar walk through town back to Wade's place.
I think there is a conversation that Cam wants to have with Lyris before they go to bed for the night.
By all means.
What was that?
But yeah. At what point would she approach?
Doesn't matter. Like, I know Lyris wants to have a shower and stuff. So if there's anything anyone else wants to do, it's just at some point before they go to bed.
Okay. Well, Lyris has a shower and cleans up, and then gets out his book that he has been like documenting creatures that he's fought and their various strengths and weaknesses, and he heads back into like the living room or whatever it was we were in before.
It's like a bachelor
wearing the
pad.
towel.
Cam's bedroom.
Yeah, Cam's bedroom. The living room / kitchenette area.
Would I have been able to I'd like to pet play with the origami, the foldable.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely do that.
As we're all hanging out.
Yeah.
What was the command word for that again?
Don't ask me questions like that ever again.
Muffin cat.
Muffin cat.
Muffin. God, Fal, where would we be without you, honestly?
You would be a skeleton floating in Skelgi.
And what a time to be alive.
Not anymore.
We'd be playing a different TTRPG if he was a skeleton.
The bones deep one.
Yep.
I got the book right over here.
Speaking of bones deep, what did Cam want to talk about?
Yeah, I
Oh
guess as
my.
they're all wow. I guess as they're all like hanging out, I don't know if Wade like goes to bed or what, but while we're in this living room area, Camilla's made herself quite comfortable on the couch. She has like her her black and gold pajamas on. Probably some like fluffy slippers or something. And she's reading one of her books, and then she kind of just out of nowhere turns to look at Lyris and says, "Lyris, do you mind if I ask you a question about your family? Or
No,
I guess I suppose your mission. You said that you wanted to bring honor to your family's name or restore honor or something like that, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Well, how do you know when you're bringing honor to your family's name? Like, how do you know you're done that?
Well, one could argue that you're never done. That throughout your entire life, you're presented with opportunities to bring honor to the family name. And, well, my family, when we came to the Bay of Zemali, we took on the name Zemaliath to signify that these waters were ours and this region was under our protection. And for many years, my family did protect the bay and on land and in the sea. And then some creature arrived, cut us off from the rest of the world, and changed things. My family fought and died trying to fix that mistake, and well, I know that there'd be no greater duty than to restore the honor that my family lost that day.
Well, see, I'm thinking that I'm trying to do something similar. But there's a complication in that for me, in that my mother, well, she didn't really want me to take the family name to begin with.
Oh.
And I just thought maybe if I could show her kind of the way that you're showing everybody else, then maybe she would then be okay with it. So I was just wondering how you know that you've done a good job. Or maybe I'm doing dishonor by even calling myself Estrada.
That is more complex than my issue. It seems to me like your mother dishonors you by not granting you the right to carry on the family name.
It's a little bit complicated with her. She never really had a choice in having me.
Sorry, my headphones disconnected at the worst possible time.
You lost your ears.
I lost my ears. Sorry, what was the last thing you said there?
God, I blacked out.
So you're really in character.
Yeah, I do that with her so often. Oh right, okay. She said that it's a little bit complicated with her because she never really had a choice in having me. So I get where she's coming from. I know that it's not my fault. but I also was the one who chose to take her name too, and I don't know if that was maybe disrespectful to do. I was thinking that it was going to be a nice experience for her, something that would make her see me as hers, but maybe it had the opposite effect.
If I can be blunt with you, it sounds to me like you're not so much trying to honor the family name as you are trying to earn her acceptance.
Oh, are those two things different?
Yes.
I suppose you're right. I did just want to be something that she could be proud of, especially if I go around saying that I'm Camriel Strata.
We've only known each other a very short time. But I don't see anything that your mother should not be proud of.
Oh, I guess I hadn't really thought about it like that. I have made such great friends, and she like looks at Aneth and wherever Wade is, whether or not he's here, or like where his room is. And they all seem to think similar things about me, I would assume.
You have taken on great personal risk to help people in need.
One could argue that I caused a lot of the problems that I solved, though.
But intent is important. The problems that we're dealing with, many of them at least, are people who chose to do harm. Accidents do happen, and admittedly, they happen frequently around you. But not only do you have good intent, you stick around and you rectify your mistakes. Few do that.
Well, I appreciate you saying so. I think I have a lot of things I need to think about.
Yeah, we all do. I would just not want to see you waste your life trying to prove yourself to someone who is failing you.
You know, my father seemed quite interesting the last time I saw him. Maybe I should focus on him more, because he does seem like he's proud of me.
That's a good idea. Build that connection. Make him proud.
Well, thank you, Lyris.
It's my pleasure. It's been a challenge for sure, but it has been a lot of fun getting to know you.
You can see that she's starting to fade in her being able to stay awake in this conversation. Like that thing where you like kind of snap awake suddenly. And then she's like, she lets her eyes close and you just hear her kind of mutter like, "You too, Lyris," before she falls asleep.
Lyris goes back to making notations about the various vulnerabilities of monsters.
Lyris's guide to monsters, eventually.
It's more like a how to kill guide. He doesn't have any information about where they live, what they look like, what they do. It's just like this thing. You can stab it here and you stab it there.
If you're at this point, you should already know how to identify an ice rover. And what is everybody thinking about as they fall asleep tonight? Unless there's anything else the rest of you want to do first after Cam passes out.
Wade would have something sort of like one of those boards you see in the room where the crazy people have like all
Lots
these
of
lines
string.
connecting, and yeah, so
I know about
he's
those.
thinking about all the stuff that's happening with this Kelk Sauce person, the connection with potential connections with Flynn Diebold. You know, he's thinking, you know, is Flynn working with Kelk Sauce? Is Flynn aware of Kelk Sauce? Is Flynn Kelk Sauce? Is he being controlled by Kelk Sauce?
I'm sorry, guys.
It's a funny name, isn't it? You know.
It's called Shanks.
And then the fact that Anath was able to detect like the connection between that crystal to that other plane. If Flynn is being controlled by Kelk Sauce, perhaps we could detect that. That's sort of what's going through Wade's mind right now.
Okay.
Kelk Sauce.
Anat will be playing with the foldable pet as he goes to sleep. Just thinking about like the chaos energy, and then also just thinking a bit on his own impulsivities, and this like just change life. Yeah, no, I think he's got a lot to think about, and like just he wants to grow, especially like as he's seeing how destructive chaos can be, at least. And if he continues like this, also thought like maybe if that is how he wild magic, back at it again, baby. My boy, just growing up. That's the basement in him. It's creeping up on him. But no, yeah, no, he's probably just thinking. It doesn't stop him from falling asleep like a fucking rock. It's as soon as he closes his eyes, he's gone, snoring away, dreaming about big ladies.
As we all do.
The dream.
I think Lyris kind of starts out thinking about how to further refine what he does. Like, he knows he's never gonna be some massive dude swinging a great sword that would be able to take down the kinds of monsters he wants to fight. So he's really kind of honing in on how to be more precise and more quick. But then, like Anath, his thoughts kind of go to a big lady. And, you know, kind of the intimate discussion that they just had.
So this one's the one you're thinking of is closer to 7 feet tall, not 26.
Yes, yeah, not quite as big.
Yeah.
In my defense, this isn't the same cloud giant. This is just giants in general.
There's like several of them.
The possibilities, you know. Star giants.
Cam, I think, takes a little bit of the piece of the conversation and does think about the last dream that she had of her father, and just like the shifting colors of the woods that he wandered off into. And I think her very last thought is about that blue color that they saw recently. She kind of has like a half a curious thought about it and then completely falls asleep.
And you all have dreams that more or less correspond with your thoughts. As you're going to bed, Cam, you once again find yourself in that comfortable wood clearing, but you get occasional glimpses of a unicorn spirit kind of patrolling around the edge of your vision. You feel as though, Cathmore cannot communicate with you as readily when you're outside of the wood, but you do feel that he is paying attention to you and doing what he can to give you aid. Laris and Anath, big ladies. Different ones, but big ladies.
Lyris has a dream of a Cam doing like the Sailor Moon transformation.
And Wade, you keep thinking through the night about the different pieces of information that you've come across, and at least in your dream, you feel fairly convinced that you continue working the conspiracy board in your dream, and at some point you come to the conclusion that Flynn is probably not this Kaltsos character. Whether or not you choose to continue keeping that idea with you when you wake up is entirely up to you, but at least Dream Wade comes to that conclusion. But other than some highly engaging dreams, the night passes in peace, and you all wake up at times that you feel would be appropriate for your characters. I think Cam probably last.
Well, Lyris would probably be up very early. He rarely wakes up in a house in the city, so just kind of like
A little weird
I'll make food for everyone.
when you wake up at your friend's sleepover before everyone else.
Really do? What do you do? I don't know.
Like, I'm just gonna sit here.
I'm just gonna raid his kitchen and make breakfast for everyone.
Be careful which eggs you pick.
Ooh.
This egg's huge.
It's a basement. And they'll probably wake up a bit after, maybe. Like, how early is Lyris waking up? What's the hours?
Hard to say. I feel like he's, the crack of dawn or just before kind of guy. Like he likes to get up and like start training immediately.
And up with the sun type.
Yeah.
My boy Nat's probably about 6. Doing some push-ups as well, obviously. Pushing himself up. It's like he has to lift himself to get onto the sofa. No, he's probably just hanging out, and he'd offer to help with the cooking as well.
Nice.
So how do you sleep?
I slept pretty well.
That's good.
Pleasant dreams.
Oh, well, what were they about?
He just like turns away from him to like deal with something he's making. It's just like, just.
And I thought follow a walk was parallel to him. Quiet. As I look.
The Ron Swanson's chair.
Yeah.
Oh, These eggs are so runny, and he just keeps turning.
You drew my eggs. What was that? Eggs?
Yeah, I've got eggs. You hungry?
Ooh. Yeah, I'd love some.
One
kind
of
of
the
eggs
empty
you drew,
shells has
scrambled?
a little bit of wood paneling on the inside and like some plush high pile carpet.
Delicious. Let's build a house in here.
I wasn't dreaming about eggs, but I mean, eggs are delicious, though. No question about that. High
Then
protein.
what you dream about? He does not stop bugging you.
Well, I guess I was just dreaming about, possible outcomes of all the things that are going on.
Infinite possibilities.
Quite introspective.
Oh,
I didn't know. I was dreaming about big ladies.
Hi, wait. Didn't see you there.
We're just standing in the door. Hello. We're just making eggs. We're not talking about anything weird.
Not the ones that you ate earlier, right?
You saying there's more?
I don't. Was there more than one?
Oh yeah, there was like 4 or 5 of them.
I mean, I've got some like if as long as you didn't if you put them away when I cook, I hope.
Did you put those eggs in your kitchen?
Probably might.
Probably not.
Then not those eggs.
I mean, I'll say that since you're the one who ate them, you
probably
probably
doesn't
have them
mean
on your
0%.
person, right?
Yeah. Let me see. Oh
It's
yeah,
they're probably in that's
they are.
back
There,
somewhere.
my boy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, they're in my bag. I should
Yeah.
probably label those.
So you can have those eggs, and we'll leave these ones.
No. Couldn't let those perfectly good eggs go to waste.
Yeah.
Be rude.
Yeah.
You
I got a
sleep
rat though. If you guys want to barbecued it.
on it? No thanks.
Good.
I'll take your word for it. Never been desperate enough.
I'll mix it with my eggs. We got beans with this too, or
You know I'm a hunter, right? Like if you want real meat, I can get you some.
yeah, I can hunt too.
Rat?
Well, it was just there, and like I was hungry. Well, I wasn't hungry at the time, but like, it kind of just like it was that rat was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, got caught by a spell, and like I couldn't just let it go to waste. It's bad, isn't it? Like everything has a purpose, and like that rat lost his purpose when I killed it, but like now it has a new purpose to go in my belly, but like it's gonna I gotta be hungry enough for it, you know. But like, I could hunt. You didn't see the bones I caught. Like when you should have seen the stall I had when I'm at camp. They're probably still down in the market square.
And maybe you should wake Cam up, and we can get our day started.
I go to Cam. Hey yo, Cam! I'm just telling Lyris the story. I mean, wait, yeah, I'm telling Lyris the story of how we met. I'm banging pans. I'm not banging pans. No, I knock on your door.
Oh, there's no
no
door.
door. She's on the couch. Like
I'm
We're-
knocking on the
we're like-
couch.
It's like 10 feet away from you in the same room.
I just turned
wanna
around
ask a
and
meta question here to clarify.
Yeah.
The rat that he's carrying around is from when he first met Cam.
I think that's what we established. Is that right? It's been in there
yeah.
for a minute. It's pretty ripe, I think.
Yeah,
by
I'm
now.
so
a-
you literally are just
I'd like-
carrying around a rotting rat carcass and
I'd
trying
like to
offer
argue
it to us.
I'd like to argue Anath has cured it and prepared it for long storage.
Yeah, it's like rat jerky.
Exactly.
He just smells like week old rat meat. Like
Yeah, it's a nice
I'm on
smoked
showers.
rat. Nice smoked rat. Keeps for a
Sandalwood
little
and
while
rat.
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit about Chikuli and rat.
Cam, when the couch is knocked on, just starts stretching out on the couch, and it's like way shorter Then would
You
be
want some beans?
comfortable
She just
for.
kicked me in the face. You want beer? Oh, I just wanted to ask if you want beans.
I'm
Make a
sorry.
dexterity saving throw.
Oh Lord.
Do they do this every morning?
Dexterity, come
I
on,
mean,
baby.
That's sort of what happens when you
21.
wake someone
Yeah,
up,
you
right?
duck out of the way.
I just asked you only on beans. Good Lord.
Oh, sorry. I'm just stretching out. She kind of like looks a little bit embarrassed, and she gets herself up out of the couch and is that food I smell?
Rat?
Oh no, thank you in that.
I mean, steak and eggs is a classic breakfast. Why not rat steak and eggs?
You
I should
first.
probably eat it. You know, I should. This poor rat's been waiting.
Rat on a stick. There you go.
Rat on a stick with some eggs and beans. I've made some beans, by the way, if anyone wants any.
Some breakfast beans. Classic.
Yeah. Bit of tomato sauce, paprika, chili,
I
delicious.
would like some beans, actually.
You want some whey too? It's good protein.
Sound wonderful.
It's good for your heart too. Don't ask if it's good for your farts. Like you'll find out.
All right. Well, I mean, I think it's safe to say we eat our breakfast.
Eat some breakfast.
We
and
eat,
what would
we
y'all-
eat and walk.
Yeah.
So we're walking as we eat.
Eating beans as you walk down the streets.
I mean,
Just-
Lyra's totally would do that. Load up a plate with like beans and eggs and stuff, and just walk down the street.
Sam takes like a full hour to get ready.
Well, so much for bright and early, but it's fine.
It's still bright.
She casts
50%
daylight.
bad.
Lines everyone. The light
Alright,
of the
well.
sun.
Where to first? We collect our bounty, or should we look into these doctors and professors?
We should probably
Yes.
collect our bounty so that we can just close off one of the things that we have.
That should be quick and easy, and you know the extra money. You know, can't be a bad thing.
Oh, yeah. That does sound good. I think we should do that.
All right. Which hall did we get that bounty from? Was it Hall of
That
Wilds, or-
was
Hall of Wilds.
yeah.
I put it in my notes as a Wall of Hilds.
Nice. Yeah, you're able to make your way down there. The Huntmaster is not in at the moment, but there is, one of the other members of the administration there that you're able to turn the information into and receive your payment.
It's the gnomish man that Annette hit with the door.
What do we get for this particular bounty? I didn't write it down. Oh no, I did actually. 50 gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
All right. Well, divided 4 ways. That sucks. 12 gold and 5 silver.
It's just some will-o-wisps. All right, we'll let people know to stay away. They're usually harmless if you give them a wide berth. Do you give them any more information other than just some will-o-wisps?
It is worth noting that the will-o-wisps are there to warn people of the danger within the river. So make sure, people.
Then
are
did
kept
you
away.
discover the nature of this danger? Just taking some notes.
An unusual geological formation that is highly
Constant.
reactive to magic.
Okay, well, that's... Alright, well, that doesn't seem like too much of a problem unless you go poking around in there, so thanks for going and taking a look at that. One thing to cross off the list. Just taking some
Have
notes, doing a
anything-
little bit of paperwork.
Have anything else of significance going on that we can look into?
Let me see. It shuffles through some papers and it's like, nothing of real importance at the moment that seems to be causing any sort of threats. We're all pretty consumed with figuring out what the hell happened to Broxels.
Oh,
Have you not talked to the other hall about that yet?
I mean, we're all working together and we kind of understand the what, but like the how and the why specifics. If it's like doing some thorough tests to see if it's still dangerous, if there's going to be any more of those plant creatures that we need to worry about. I think we're pretty well staffed on that at the moment. But if you do learn anything,
I'm going to. Wade would turn to the other party members. Be like, at some point, and he's gonna sort of like whisper this, or just, in a lower voice, like, at some point, we're gonna need to spread this information so that people know what's going on. I am very concerned that Kelksas is going to return in some form, or that this issue is going to be this issue is wider than we can have a handle on ourselves. There have been 3 or 4 or 5 formations we run into ourselves, let alone who knows how many other deposits of Skelgi and whatnot are around.
We also don't want to cause a panic before we actually know anything of substance, but perhaps we could have the halls notifying us if they come across these crystals.
We have a lot of information already, but I feel like we need to talk to other people higher up within the halls to disperse the information
are
in
we
some
not?
manner.
Are we not concerned about the higher ups having something to do with the things that have been going on?
That was
Yes,
my
Yes,
although they already know, so perhaps secrecy favors them.
I suppose it would look good for us if we told them, like, we're not suspicious of them.
Don't be researching too much to get assassinated
then
because they
I'm
But
going
if
to.
everybody knows, then we are no longer the only target, or even a viable one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we tell them, then it'll look like we're looking into this like everybody else is, and we're not suspicious of what they're doing. So it might be a good idea to just spread the info.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the information being passed along benefits us more than it would hinder us.
We start here then. We have
Yeah,
less
go for it.
suspicion here. I'm going to turn to this individual. What is their name?
yeah, we'll say this is that same gnome that Kaz rocked in the head with the door.
I'm gonna.
What were you saying, Val?
Oh, I'll wait for you.
Will be we're talking to Fenwick Briarfoot.
Wade will turn to Fenwick Briarfoot and say, there's quite a bit more about this situation that we feel like you and the other people of Crystal Harbor need to know. For sake of time, we can sort of say that Wade spends time in explaining about the Skelgi and the crystals and kelk sauce.
And there's just doing like a full dump.
I feel like
God damn it, James.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm so immature.
I'd say like not quite a full dump, but like, you know, hey, there's this material Skelgi, we refer to as Skelgi, that
Oh yeah, skeleton algae. It's clever. It's clever. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I say very proudly.
Just like
like you're familiar with what happened to the alchemist.
I don't know that you guys told anyone other than Brielle that you found him.
Well, we had come across this substance and it was new to us, and we were having him study it. Well,
Right. Yeah.
Something went wrong, and this individual named Kelk Sauce tried to take over his mind. This substance and these crystals have a connection with this individual in a way that is not safe for people to interact with.
Fenwick looks really concerned at this information. Well, and of course, yeah. Oof.
And it's gotten to the point where we feel like this information cannot be kept secret, even if there are others who might know it that might use it for evil.
And do you have any suspicions of who those people might be? Taking
We have suspicions of people who are just, you know, who might not have the best interest of others, but we don't have any concrete evidence, and we don't want to, you know, say something that might hurt someone's reputation.
Of course,
it wouldn't be fair to them.
No, I understand. I think the Hunt Master will want to hear about this information. If you'd be willing to come back later when she's here and tell her, that would be great. Should be here in a few hours. If not, I can relay this to her and just let me know where we can find you.
Okay, we'll probably be going to the other halls and stuff, and sort of relaying this same type of information.
And I gotta tell you, this wasn't the information I was expecting to hear today. It's been pretty... No major threats recently. That's been nice. I guess we've had our time of not getting those. All right, well, thanks for letting us know. We're gonna have to look into this, you understand?
And we hope that you do. There's only 4 of us, and there's probably more crystal formations and deposits of Skelgi that we're able to deal with on our own.
And he kind of looks... He looks you over and is Wade wearing his, like, the Hall of Weave cloak and all that good stuff?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Probably wondering why I haven't talked to the Hall of Weave about it, right?
That would be a reasonable inference.
Yeah. Well.
And I'll kind of like look around, like bend over to or lean over to look behind you and like around your group, and like kind of speak in a lower voice. Now, is there a particular reason that I should be concerned about that you're bringing this to the Hall of Wilds first?
We just happen to be here collecting our bounty.
You just.
I feel like that's an accurate statement. I mean, we've come across several crystal formations and deposits, and I feel like at this point, no.
I am still going to ask for a deception check with advantage because that is not the entire truth.
It's not something I'm good at, but you said with advantage. Okay, let's roll that twice.
I mean,
That's not a good
I
roll.
told the initial lie. Maybe
Yeah.
I should roll it.
Yeah, Lyris did make it initially, so he can roll that.
Because I definitely rolled poorly.
Yeah, that is a 16.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, I'm sure we'll probably need to pull them in at some point if this is extraplanar in nature, did you say?
Yes.
Seems to be.
All right, well, we'll let the druids take a look at it first. But
When we're going between the rooms or between the guild halls, I would turn to the group and ask: Did we mention that it was extraplanar before he
I think
made the
so.
assumption?
if Wade
I
gave the
feel
full
like that-
download, then
Yeah, Wade told them
Okay.
everything.
I feel like
so-
that would have been part of it. I feel like that.
Damn, here I was thinking, Mom.
Oh, detective.
Yeah, exactly. Detective Anna's like, "Hey, yo, shit, bro, guys,
He
I was
knows
right. They were.
something.
On to us.
I'm holding my tinfoil hat, guys."
Like, are you kidding me, Anath? We stood here for 10 minutes while he explained everything to them. Like,
He was eating his rat on a stick.
Sorry, I
he was
Yeah.
distracted.
You could have cast a ritual in that time.
Yeah, I was
He
apologizing to the
ritually cast
gnome
Rat.
again.
He was rehearsing his apology in his head the entire time.
I was just looking at him and like I didn't even say anything. I just looked at him.
He blacked out.
He was busy writing a letter to ask Albatinde to take him back. All right. Well, that's covered. We should tell the other halls, but we also need to look into these researchers.
Did we ever find out what happened to Brilliant's baubles?
You didn't.
That was another
Last
thing
time-
that I was.
I do hope that they're okay. I wonder maybe if we check by there and they're still not anywhere to be found, that I should maybe contact one of them.
Did something happen to him? What?
Oh yeah, you weren't here. Their whole place looked like it was exploded on the inside.
Oh my goodness!
I know, and I think it was our fault.
Are you telling me now?
There's a lot going on.
No, you're right. You're right. There is. I'm sorry. We're uncovering a government conspiracy at this moment. No, you're right. I apologize.
So if we could check on that, because we still don't know where our dragon is. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's not a good thing.
Well, I hope the dragon is good. But no, it's not a good thing. We don't know where it's at right now.
Especially if they had Albatende trapped there, and if somebody wants to keep it trapped, then that's kind of our fault that that's happening now. We had the opportunity to let it go.
I'm hoping that whoever trapped Elvatinde trapped the dragon, and they're both good. Both the dragon and Elvatinde.
Are we gonna
But
let
that's
it
a
free though?
stretch.
Because I want to do that.
I've considered it, but there's no way to know what its intentions are once we release it.
Oh, and
it's a
it could
creature
be.
that's
It could be very angry, like Elvatende was when we let her go.
and it would probably cause a lot more damage than Elvatende did.
It's also premature to assume that just because an evil person trapped two entities that they're both likely to be good. An evil dragon could be just as dangerous to an evil person as a good dragon.
Yeah, exactly. One can only hope, but no. We're walking and talking on our way to
Yeah, where we head?
Brilliant Baubles, right?
Is that
Is
where
that-
we're going?
Sure.
Fine
You
with
wanted
me.
to see them again, right?
Yeah.
I've never met them. Oh, you're talking to
Didn't you? I thought you did.
Hmm?
I thought you did. Like, it
I
was on the
think-
session we
No, Lyris
just
has
after.
not.
No, that was just before I joined you.
Ah.
He was
Oh,
surprised.
I remember why. Because I was making jokes about. Suddenly a thingy jumps out of the water. I remember that. Sorry, this is my fault. I remember just like making jokes about you joining because it was near the water.
Fair enough.
My head cannon took over for a moment. But let's go. All right.
So
To
we were at
Bubbles.
Brilliant Bubbles?
Yeah, y'all make your way to Brilliant Baubles, and it looks like it's open for business.
Oh,
That's
That
interesting.
should be good news, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
Let's
Are you guys pulling a prank on me?
I could have sworn
No.
that it was
I
exploded
went
last time.
inside. We saw it. It was a mess.
knock on the door and enter.
I mean, if they're open, don't we just walk in?
He's
Ding,
very
ding.
polite.
Hello, may I enter your store that is open for business, please?
Hey Raiders, welcome in. Tell us what you were doing over there.
And thanks for we probably won't be streaming for too much longer, but thank y'all so much for dropping by. We usually wrap up in about 5 minutes from now. But we're going to let this scene play out and see where it takes us. But yeah, you open the
5
door
hours.
to Brilliant Baubles, and the last time you were here, you were peering through kind of a partially boarded up window and saw that it looked like there was a small explosion maybe in the center of the shop that had pushed some of the shelves over and away, and it looked like had bulged the floor down and pushed the ceiling up into the second floor a little bit. All of that damage seems to have been repaired. Wait, huh?
Oh, hello.
Welcome back!
You too.
Are you two okay?
Yeah, Brilliant and Baubles both look at you, and Baubles says, "Oh, yeah, we're fine. Yeah, we decided we'd close up shop for a few days."
Given
You know.
the damages, right?
They kind of both look at each other a little bit, like, "Oh, yeah, we were working on some sort of, we were exploring some other kind of gemstone, and well, boom!
Insight check.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Abso-friggin-lutely.
It's a 19 on
I
insight.
got 17.
Ooh,
That's pretty good. I got a
22.
Well, Brilliant got a 9, and Baubles got an 11. They're yeah, they're holding something back very clearly.
Listen, I don't want to pry, but it's clear you're not telling us something, and
I
there's
do
a
want to
lot of
pry.
crazy magic stuff going on around here, so it's really important that you tell us the whole truth.
Well,
And I can make a persuasion check on that if I need to.
yeah, make a persuasion check.
Could Cam help with this? Because she is
Yeah.
like, I do want to pry.
Yeah, I think make it with advantage since Cam's helping.
All right, that is a 23. Thank you for that advantage. My first one was a 1.
Nice. Yeah, so Brilliant and Bubbles kind of they look at each other for a second and seem to be thinking about something, and they just look. What we told you wasn't untrue. There was an explosion while we were looking at a gem, but and we made a promise that we wouldn't tell people. You know, some of our customers want secrecy, and the people left in town that do still have a lot of money sometimes still come to us, and we really wouldn't want to betray that. I hope you understand.
Cam is just
So
gonna
this-
be like people like Flynn Diebold.
Well, he does
And-
come in here sometimes, but that's like not his money that he spends. That's like guild stuff, you know.
But
Usually,
this-
sometimes he
this-
buys things for himself, but
This incident didn't have anything to do with him.
no. This didn't have anything to do with him.
Oh, okay.
Should we be worried about him?
Oh
No.
no.
The
Alright.
gemstone you mentioned, did it have a purplish glow to it?
No. It was a magical ruby of some kind. It'd been enchanted with something. We were trying to figure it out, and it went kaboom.
Any luck with the other business that we left off on?
Yeah, and just for David, since it's been like 1,000 years since you actually gave them that request, do you remember specifically what you asked them to deduce about your dragon statuette?
If there was anything
Uh.
magical about it was one thing, and then I think we learned, well, of course there is.
Yep.
I think you were surreptitiously trying to get them to determine whether or not it was actually a dragon itself. Is that correct?
I honestly don't remember. I don't think my notes specify. I think it just looking into just more into it.
I don't think they even knew that was a possibility yet, did they? Like, 'cause that was before they interacted with the giant.
Yes. I think.
Okay, so that suspicion came later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shuffle through, pull out a drawer underneath the counter and take the figurine back out. It's like, well, yeah, it's definitely magical, like you suspected. It's really finely made, but it seems to just the enchantment on it just seems to be to hold the little floating pieces in place without any physical connection to the rest of the statue.
Oh.
You also asked us to look into your missing shipment, correct?
Yes, we did. Did you have any luck?
As much as we would have liked, we did come across like a crate, right?
We did
Along the side of the road.
we did come across things that look like they belong to you, but not really the things inside them.
Well, I guess it's good to know that we shouldn't expect that shipment anymore. But yeah, really, thanks for looking into it. It's a shame that you couldn't recover any of it, but it's good to know what happened. A little bit of closure.
Well, at least the threat's been dealt with, and further shipments shouldn't be interrupted.
No, that's really good news. Thank y'all for that so much.
We if it helps at all, it was on the road up to Sten's Gap, not too far off from there.
That's usually a pretty safe route.
Lots of weird
Yes.
things have been happening.
Giant monster appeared out of nowhere. It's been dealt with.
They look a little bit alarmed when you say giant monster appeared out of nowhere. Oh, you dealt with it though? That's
Of course, I'm Leo Somalia. I'm the city's premier monster hunter.
oh yeah, I think I've heard about you.
Good to know
There's
my
also,
reputation's getting around. If you have any needs, by all means, reach out.
I would pipe up, and including don't forget including Anathemit, Camriel, and Wade.
We're the heralds of the storm.
Oh, we've got a name now.
I got my pin.
Yeah, we have matching brooches and everything.
Oh,
It's very
that's pretty
official.
fancy.
Be cool if we had
Wouldn't it?
those made.
Well, are you looking to take the
I
statue
would.
back? Or
For now, yes. We'll conduct some more investigation into it.
And I guess we don't have to tell you this since it seems like you're pretty discreet already, but we would like to keep this quiet, I think.
absolutely, and kind of takes a very long time to mime a zipper, but it goes all the way around the beak instead of just this little quick thing. Yeah.
I'm sorry, beak?
They're
Yes.
Kenku.
These are two kenku. Two
Ah.
crows, two crow-looking kenku. One
Okay,
with a
I do remember that now. Yeah.
yeah, one with the
Yeah.
green eyes and one with blue eyes.
Well, I'm glad to find that your shop is back in order. We were concerned when we saw the damages.
Oh, quite understandable. That was a big explosion for indoors.
Yeah. Oh. Certainly. I hope you weren't too close to it.
Oh, we were right next to it.
I hope the damaging wasn't severe.
Oh, we were okay. We were okay. The shop got the worst of it. We were able to kind of jump out of the way. The shop wasn't so lucky. It's not very agile.
Imagine with all those knickknacks, you had a fair bit of cover.
No, we had a lot of cleaning up to do. But
Did any...
You two seem... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Ken.
Oh, what I was going to ask wasn't important, so you can go ahead.
Mine's not important either, please.
Oh, okay. Did any glitter survive the explosion?
yeah, we've got all kinds of glitter. We can make some more if you need some. Please take some as a thank you for looking into that shipment for us.
Her eyes light up. She's like, yes, I'm almost out of all of my gold ones. So she's going to go and look at them.
I was just going to say that you two seem fairly knowledgeable. What do you make of this? And he takes out his water skin, like holds it out as if like waiting for them to hold out a hand.
Huh?
Or a wing? Do they have hands? I don't know
Yeah.
Kenku biology.
There's like
They
wings
have
with
hands, no
hands on the
wings.
end, kind of like a
thought it-
harpy style.
Is
Okay.
it? I thought it was they have just hands.
These ones have
Oh.
wings for arms.
Yeah, I was saying like you're
Yeah.
saying your law. I
Kenku come in many forms.
they do.
And he just kind of squirts a tiny little blob of the thick water onto his hand.
What is pours it back
That's-
and forth a little bit.
Nourishing is what that is.
As far
It's,
as I can tell, it's just water. But
It's thick though.
yeah, some
Yeah.
magic did this to it.
That's weird. I mean, we can look into it if you want. I'd normally send you to Broxel for something like this, but well,
Yeah, he's not coming back.
yeah,
I think
I'm gonna miss that guy.
He's okay.
I think
He
he's
is.
happy.
He's just not coming back.
Oh, whew. I was worried there for a second. But if it kind of pokes it, stirs it around a little bit, smells it, it just tastes like water. I mean, we can look. We'll rush kind of fumbles around and finds like a small jar with a few small crushed up rocks in it, like those ones you get at the gift shop, and pour it out. Pours that out and kind of pours the water into it and says, "Well, you know, I'll take a look at it. You might be able to find something. Yeah. Gems are really more of our specialty."
I'd imagine it would mean bubbles and such.
He looks at Wade. Should we?
Did we what? Are you talking about what we talked about earlier in the other hall?
Well, yes. If that's their specialty, maybe.
Oh. Have we talked to you about the crystal formations we've come across already?
Maybe you mentioned something about that.
And I will pull out the crystal, like the baseball-sized crystal that we chipped away. Like, have you seen? Are you familiar with this?
Okay. May I? And one of them takes it from you and turns it over and looks up. Says, I think this is what was that they were calling it the other day?
Is it Omarite? Was that it, or was that another one? Who was referring to it, or did we come here and ask you that?
Well, I don't think it was you guys. Somebody who preferred a bit of anonymity brought a sample of this in and was referring to it as mist glow prism.
I like that name.
Was it a Professor Victor Ashford or Laura Whitlock?
None of those names sound familiar.
Just a heads up. This, and I'll point to the one that they have in that they have right now. That one right there is safe. Those crystals are not natural.
It's fascinating though.
And any other ones that you might come across or have magic channeled into them from another plane.
Another plane.
And interacting with them might lead to an entity from that plane trying to take over your body.
Or a weird explosion.
I think the weird explosion is A, when you try to cut the connection to the plane, or B, when you try to take a part of the crystal, like you chip it off.
We're dealing with massive surges and chaotic energy. We really don't know the extent of what could happen.
Well, kind of look a little bit nervous holding this crystal. I was like, are you wanting us to look into this one for you too?
I think we have a good lead on what it's capable of.
All right, well, I'm going to give this back to you. There's been enough explosions in this shop for 1 month.
We just wanted you to be aware, just because this is sort of the stuff that you deal with, if you come across it, and the people who come to you with it are not aware of that.
We
or if
appreciate
they
the warning.
are, just, I think usually like channeling magic with it or through it. I'm not sure what can have that connection from the other plane. Just be aware, it's dangerous.
Well, we definitely appreciate the warning, and we'll keep a lookout and be careful if anybody brings some of this in. It's really fascinating. Almost looks like it's filled with liquid.
Indeed. I think that's all that we had to discuss, right?
I think so. On to our next stop then. Or
And I think we're going to pick up that next stop right here it's going to be a little while. It'll be probably September 7th.